Thank you for joining back. We'll start in another couple of minutes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining back. Hope you had a great day yesterday, and hope the yesterday's training was a good starting point for your journey in Adobe Photoshop and creating and editing images, creating mailers, creating social media content, and so on. Today, uh, we'll actually very quickly move on to the training session. We also have Sandeep again today as well. So just to give you a very basic background and basic information about Sandeep, uh, I'm just sharing my screen too so that it becomes easier for you to go ahead and read as well. Hopefully you're able to see my screen now. Um, you already know about the Big Tech program and my Kartavya from yesterday. I'll not spend too much time over here. But so Sandeep, again, our star trainer, he's a lead technical support consultant at Adobe. He's not just that, he's also a street photographer in his free time and a graphics designer enthusiast. He loves to share his knowledge and experiences wherever and whenever he gets a chance. And that's what he's hoping to do uh, through this training session with all of you. Um, you also had a lot of questions around if Photoshop is free to use or is it like costing something and so on and so forth. So instead of actually waiting till the end of webinar and letting you know, we also want to talk about the prices, etc. for Photoshop. So Photoshop Elements and Premiere Elements as a combo is available at the Big Tech website for FCRA NGOs at 2,000 rupees, 2,148 rupees. And if you want to like look at all the various different apps that Adobe provides through Adobe Creative Cloud, you can actually still go to Big Tech and get the 1 year license at a 60% discount of 19,195 rupees. So that's about it from NASCOM Foundation side. Over to you, Sandeep, to take it forward.
Thank you, Saurav, for quick introduction and quick recap. And good morning, everyone. And so today we are going to cover our rest of the topics like poster creation and utilization of textual shape tools and creating working with healing brush, spot healing brush, clone stem tool, and how to create posts for social media, and then how to save files for print and web, and when to use color modes. Okay, so let me share my screen quickly. Okay, so hopefully my screen is visible and Photoshop is up. So, so a quick recap what we did yesterday. So So yesterday we talked about how to create a new document. So create new document and then choose the size in inches and like 5 by, so I chose the size around 8 by 11. It okay. This is my size that we have done yesterday. And then if you want to place image on it, so we can go to file and place embed, place image on it like this, hit confirm. In this way we can see now we have two layers, and this image is over that. So we can move this layer by selecting this or clicking on the image or clicking the layer we want to select. We also talked about how to save the file and save as right now for PSD. So if you want to save the file as a JPEG, so just click on this drop down box, drop down option, then click on JPEG. So this will save the file as a JPEG, and I will not save it right now. So we also talked about our uh, selection. So let me open a file which we, yes, we talked about quick selection. So using the quick selection tool, how can you use it? Just click and hold on this selection icon, and you will see three options. The quick selection tool will be the second one, and then uh, hovering the mouse on the image, you can create a selection, and then you can right click and layer by copy. You can create a copy of that selection, and you can, if you want to see your collection selection, sorry, you can click on this eye icon to hide and unhide your layers. So this is the selection that I have made, and these checker boxes are the transparency. So this image, the background of this image has been gone. So one thing that I wanted to mention here, if we have a very plain background and our object is quite in the focus, it is very the selection is very good, and we get our object out of the background uh, very clearly, instead of if we have a very rough very messy background and we try to make selection, it becomes little difficult to make that selection like we did here. So like, and so to make that to make the perfect selection, it become very difficult for us, and we have to you know we have to make some adjustments like we did, and that adjustment can be done by zooming up on the image, alt and scroll up, okay, and hand tool to move your image canvas on the image using pressing the space bar on your keyboard, and uh, mouse left click on it and hold and move. And you can see this selection I don't want it. So either I can click on this minus icon, or I can sorry, hold the alt key, and you can see this. I have got minus icon within the circle, my quick selection tool, and I can minus it out. So still I can see this is not perfect. So I just try to tweak it little bit on the edges of uh, this image seizure, and over here also. So we have to make little bit adjustments accordingly, so that we can get our object out of that. So this is what we did yesterday. So I'm just doing it again so that you guys have a kind of fair idea about what exactly a quick selection does. So this is about quick selection. Then we did, okay, and now you have to deselect it, because I'm going to use object selection tool. Okay, so deselect is control D on your keyboard, or you can go from select and deselect. So object selection tool, select subject, click on select menu, then subject, and then you can select the selection. Now you can see that there is some part which is still not wanted. So you can go to quick selection tool and minus sign, and then make that part, remove it, like we remove using the eraser, anything that is not wanted on our notebook. So it is very similar to that. So we talked about that if we have to do very minute removal, so we have to increase and decrease the brush size. So how can we do it? Using our curly bracket on the keyboard. uh, the open bracket will decrease the size and the close bracket will increase the size. So left and right brackets, they work like that. The left bracket decrease the size and right bracket increase the size on the keyboard. So this is how I'm doing it. So this works for any brush, any simple brush also. So this is not for a quick selection tool or any selection tool. I'm gonna make that. So like I am using brush, simple brush, paint brush. So I am decreasing, increasing side for the same way. So this is, and if you want to move back to one step, so Control Z. We talked about the history. So Photoshop can store 100 history step in a one run, and so but if we save the file in Photoshop, the history step will be gone. So there would be any kind of history steps for Photoshop for that particular file. Okay, and we also talked about how to create a layer. Uh, you know, move layer, duplicate, how to create a duplicate layer. So Control J, or right click on the image, duplicate layer. You can create it from there. And now I have 2 or 3 layers, and I want to see all the layers. So we talked about transform tool, Control T, and you can see I am able to select the layer and trying to decrease the size of my layers. So size of my layers. Now I have 3 layers. Okay, so this is how you can create multiple layers. So if you want to create a color layer, so these are the this is the icon that you can create a color layer. Just click on this and solid. This will create a color layer on it. So and we talked about that uh, layers are like a stack. So one by one, you would be able to see that stack. So if this layer is hidden, the layer 0 is hidden behind this color solid color layer, and it won't be visible because it is taking the whole canvas. So you can also increase and decrease the size of this, but it will not work because this is a different kind of layer. So we can go through, we can move it to at the bottom of our stack, and we can decrease the size of our layer 0. So you can see that now I can see all my, I can see all my layers. And sometimes we lose layer because the layer are some layers are behind one particular layer. And for that, if you want to see, check which layer is where, so you can go to this layer panel and you can also increase the size. Then you can hide this like this. uh, Click on the eye icon, and then you can hide or reveal the layer. So this is how you can work on it. Okay, so this is all what we did yesterday, and now moving forward. So let's try without wasting any more time. So we can move toward the poster creation. How can you create a poster in Photoshop? So uh, recently I created a poster for my team. We just uh, it is a flyer. We sent it out through emails, and this is about event that we're going to have it today. And so it is very simple. So for any poster making, there are things that we have to, uh, we have to take care. First is name of the event, second date, time, and location, and also call out or come back means how if they want to contact you, if somebody wants to contact you, how can they contact you? So this is what we call it, comeback. So here we don't need the comeback, but like if I want to see entries, so I could have just put it there, the please email for the registration here to me, or particular email address. So let's try to create this poster, and again in Photoshop, and see how can we do it. Okay, this is very simple. I'll try. I will try to create a poster from image also, but this is from the scratch. So let's do it again. File, new, default size. I'll pick default size here. So this works for me. Okay, and then uh, I need a solid layer so that I can have my yellow color. So solid layer will, you can change of your background color anytime. You can see I have this color fill layer, and pick the perfect color. And now I will put some text. What the text is, yeah, text was I spice. Okay, so text size, as we have know, so we can increase the text size by selecting the text from here, or there is another method that we do it. Again, control T, you can perform control T for the text tool also, you can transform it, but I generally use my basic, uh, like we do in Word, so we can do that. So I can see that it is looking good, but not that much good that I want. So I'll pick my, yes, broader or thick or bold, more the more uh, the thick font. So I have this font. It is Jill Sans Ultra Bold Condensed font. So I picked that. It looks good it looks good on the screen. And now the time. So date, time, and location. So these are the three things that you have to be make sure you have to make sure that these are going good and visible clearly, if to people and to the audience. So what I did, I created this rectangle. So we'll create a rectangle here. We we did it yesterday to, yes, it is center. I can see this pink line is there. This is auto guide. And now the rectangle color is red. I want it white. So for that, what you can do, you can see this fill color here, and in the properties also this fill color is there. So either ways you can choose which color you want. I wanted white, so I picked the white color. It just changed. Okay. And okay, so I have the rectangle on my screen for that. And over here you can see these are graphics. So I have downloaded these graphics from Google, and you can search it for icons like calendar icon or clock icon. So you can get it from Google and you can download them and you can use them. So I have already downloaded them on my screen, so I'll put it there. Uh, just a moment, I'll check where it is. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I placed it. So this is too big. Okay, you can see that is too big for me. What I did, I will click on the and then Control T and make it small. You can make it small. There is one more icon. Yeah, calendar icon. What I am doing right now, I'm just doing drag drop because you guys are not able to see, but you can do one more thing: file, place embed, go to the location, and then you can place the icon like this. So this is same thing, or you can drag and drop on the Photoshop. So this is how you get your icons here. So I have got my icons, so I just need to place them according my. So here you go. Now, so my icons have been placed perfectly. Now I need to type the date, time when it is happening and where it is happening. Okay, first is the day and the time. So day is let's say it is happening, it will happen tomorrow. It's 18th of September and Friday. So I'll type Friday first. Okay, I can type enter with the date, but I will not do it because it is really difficult to manage sometimes to two-line text, and so make it easier. So I just created it Friday. Decrease the font size. Okay, let me just increase, zoom it up. It's happening on Friday and date, but which Friday it is going to happen. So we have almost 50 or 52 Fridays in a year, so people cannot wait each Friday. So uh, it's happening on 18th of September. And which year also? It is happening this year or next year? So we need to mention that also. Okay. Place accordingly. Friday, 18th September 2020. And then when it is happening, Friday, okay, it is happening on Friday. Everybody knows it. Okay, everybody. Now people are get to know the Friday, but when it is happening on Friday, there is no time, so people will be waiting, and there is no time. They will be waiting whole time. Okay, so let's write the time. The time is I am going to do two events. So I put it match one at 14:30 hours. So it depends how you want to keep your date format. So sometimes people like for like 24-hour date format, and sometimes they like a 12-hour date format. So AM PM type. So let's do it AM PM type. 2:30 PM. Okay, this is the match one. Okay, I have match one, and oh, okay, I need match two also. There is one more slot that is going to happen in the evening. So for that I can just do one thing: control copy this layer, because so I just need to do one change. 5:30 p.m. Done. Simple. So this is you can see uh, my time is there. Now where it is happening, again people are furious that okay, it is happening, we know the time but we don't know the place where it's happening. So it is happening on Zoom or Zoom ID. You can put it like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. This is our Zoom ID, so you can just give that and then they can log in on the Zoom. Okay, so this is how you can create your time, your match, sorry, date, time, and location where it is happening. So now you can see it is little bit gap here. You can see that as the gap, more gap is here and less gap. So I can adjust it quickly. Just moving this icon here. I want to move multiple items, so just I will just click on layer, which layer, and then shift and select multiple layers, and then I can move them easily like this. And again, so this is this, and yeah, this one. Okay, or you can use your keyboard shortcuts, keyboard navigator keys, up and down, left, right keys to move your layers on your canvas. So this is done, and now I like I have put some catchy lines here. So only fastest eyes will win. So how we can put that again? Only fastest eyes will win. Done. Now I need to put again, increase the size. I don't want to increase the size too much so that my event name will not over, this will not overshadow the event name. So just put it here. I think I should increase a little bit more so that, yeah, this is better. And now I want that people register first, and then, or for more queries, they can reach out to a particular person, people, or a place from they can ask question about it. So I'll put another text which says, I will decrease the size because that should not be too big. For queries, please contact person name ABCD or my name at gmail.com. Guys, this is not my email address, okay? Please don't email me on this. Uh, okay, so this is how you can do it. Or you want to separate this text with a different color, you can do that so that it's not visible. Yeah, fine. So that can be separated, okay? So you can see with simple steps, with simple tool, you can create a flyer, and I'm done. So here, but I want to give a border. So the creativity and never ends. So it always asks for the hunger. It will always ask for something new, something new, something more. So that's what we're gonna do now. We can add a border here. So to adding a border, it is very simple. So you just draw a rectangle over with rectangle tool. Oh, okay, you can see that my rectangle is there, but it is all gone, all behind my rectangle. So what we can do, we have this fill and stroke option. So fill is the a color, what is we have filling with the rectangle, and stroke is the outline, the border of your rectangle. It's like your photo frame. Some photo frames are borderless, and some photo frames have some border, very uh, very cute and very beautiful borders, so you can use that. uh, so I'll fill 0 because I don't want fill. I want see my text and my border white. So white border, but border, I have selected the white border, but it is not showing. Why? Because it is 0. There is no width for that. So I just increase the width. Now you can see the border is coming up. So I can increase. So this is too much. So I can increase accordingly how much I wanted for my image. You can see that it is coming unique perfectly along with the borders of my uh, flyer. So you can see this is done. Now I am done. Okay, this is good. Again, it is very simple and uh, simple to create. So I hope you have learned. You have got an idea that how can we create simple and eye-catching text, eye-catching flyers, and that. So let's create another one that I'm gonna create it from the scratch. I haven't created it anything. And okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention uh, how to save it now. Okay, file, save. If you click on save, if you haven't saved it, so it will save as a psd. You have to save this file as a psd first, so that in any if you want to make changes here, like some what happens, like you want to change the times, okay, and or there is some uh, delay, or there is some changes in the date, or maybe the contact name is, you want to add another contact, anything. They could they not there can be anything, any changes, so that you create, sorry, save the file psd event one, save, save. So I have saved it. Now my file name is here, event one. Saving in PSD doesn't mean that you have saved it as a JPEG. You can use it. You cannot use it on your to post it, or social media or anywhere else. So you just need to save as again JPEG with the same name, or just type it, even JPEG. So the quality that I use between 8 and 10. I don't use 12 because 12 is too much, and sometimes we get artifacts or some errors while uploading to Facebook or Photoshop. So baseline, I always use baseline standard because this is the standard, and it will give you best quality while saving the image. And this is 10, so I'll create only 8. And also, if more the quality, more the size of your file. So I just want to avoid big file size. So I have created and saved it on my desktop. So I'll show it here. So you can see this is the JPEG file, and it's looking pretty good. Okay. Okay, now let's close this. Okay, so let's create a uh, mm, flyer, or another flyer. Let's create another flyer for from scratch. Create font, default font size, create. So guys, one more thing, you can create flyer either in portrait or landscape, depends what you want to, what type of flyer you want to create. You can add a lot of information on that, but I would say try to avoid try to avoid a letter in a flyer, and just to point, highlight what exactly you want to do it, so we can so that you guys have less, uh, only highlighted points only there, uh, and rest other things you have know that. Okay, yeah, file, place, embed my document. Yes. So as you know that I'm a street photographer, and so I wish or I want to have an exhibition of my photographs. So I want to create a flyer for that or a poster for that. So I need one thing here, that this is I am getting too much area. So this area I don't want. This I just want this particular person and on the focus, so that I can see. So I will increase it size. You can see while I have increased it, I have got this person in focus. Okay, this is the one method, and second method is crop. So crop tool is very very helpful tool for me at least, and I can always increase or decrease the size of my canvas using the crop tool and adjust my subject accordingly, as you can see. Then how can I get the crop tool? So this is the crop tool, you can see, and and shortcut key is C as a capital on the keyboard. So I can increase or decrease. So I will decrease. So I am holding shift key so that I will not break my aspect ratio of my image, and I'm just adjusting it accordingly. So crop tool is really helpful in order to get a particular kind of ratio for your image. We'll talk about it later when we'll do, when we'll try to save this file for Photoshop, or sorry, for Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, because they have their own aspect ratios. They particular size they always show, so we'll try that. So this is I have got. I want it like this, and now I will create a rectangle here, fill black, and you will you I guess you will be using this because you have clicked a lot of images on your events, and you have those images. Then you can showcase your one of your best image and the backhand, and for foreground, you can use this rectangle trick, and create your flyer. So this is, you can see that I can place my text on this rectangle, this placeholder that I have created for my poster. So okay, text tool, not on the rectangle. Okay, just outside the rectangle, because if I put in the rectangle, it will take the whole rectangle as a placeholder. So I change the color because it looks very nice on black white color. So, and I don't want this font, I want very signature kind of font. So I'm just using different text tool. So now I want to explore a little bit more. So what I will do? Mm, yeah, I will not use this. I will not use this font. I will use a different font, which would be Broadway. I like broad font. Okay, this straight photography. Now you can see my font is going out, so I need to adjust it accordingly. Street photography, and then exhibition. Okay, again this is going out. Decrease the size accordingly and put it there. Yeah, this is, so I can see that it's still not the gap is not equal, so I can manage to increase it a little bit more, and then I have it. So it is very simple, that just create a text and perfect font, and little bit information is there, and I have uh, this is little bit big. Yes, now it is fine, but I want to change color of my text because not it is not looking that much good. Straight, again I'll pick. Yes, now you can see the name of the event is getting highlighted. What is the name, and the exhibition is there. Okay, and the time, date, again similar way. I don't need to put uh, icons here. So just to make sure that icons are not necessary. So let's make it on next Thursday. Again, now I have to do this. We have this done yesterday, that superscript and subscript. So superscript for th, and I don't want this should be keep the font, and the time starting from 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so this is, I just put the time and where place. Just I live in Noida, so Noida Stadium. Okay, so you can see it is simple. So I can create Noida Stadium color. I can change it so that people can highlight it. You can see with the simple trick. So I have my flyer is ready. But again, as I told you guys earlier, also the creativity is like a hunger. So I just want to make some changes there. So how can I do it? With the opacity of this flyer, like this rectangle, I just decrease the opacity to 75%. You can write it down. Yes, now you can see it is looking Good. Now better, I would say, not good but better. Before that, so this is the extra element that you can add, and every flyer that you can create, try to be more creative, and try to be more information should be there, proper information, so creativity comes slowly. Because even I was, when I started Photoshop, I was not that good, and so it is by experience only. So you create one flyer, then you'll get to know that, okay, you could have added the other thing also. So the next time you will create another flyer, then you will find it out, okay, I could have done like this. So look for the creativity in everything that you have created. So that's what I do. Okay, let's save this file, save event to, done. This is PSD file, and let's create a JPEG. Event to JPG. Oops, sorry, I always do this to me. Okay, 8, done. This is also saved as JPEG. So this is your second poster flyer. Okay, now coming back to the Photoshop. Sorry, how can you create a flyer for your Instagram feed, or not feed, I would say Instagram post or a Twitter post. So this format is good for your Facebook also. But for my Instagram, they use 1:1, uh, 1:1 format. Use the square one, we call it square format. So for that, I need to do little more adjustments. So like, I'll create, move my text layer little bit up, selecting all layer at once, clicking out of your canvas, deselect layers. Okay, so my information is at one place. Now I'll go to crop tool, and you can see the ratio. So this is the ratio, and square ratio is here. And I just click on that. Now I have my square ratio selected by default. Okay, just, and guys, one more thing, the biggest mistake that we do, even I have done it a lot, that is this checkbox. Do not check this box. What it will do, it will delete the pixels out of your canvas. So I'll tell you how it does. So I checked it. Now click on yes. Now you can, if I come back to crop tool, it's not deleting. Oh, good. Okay, let me do it again. Yeah, it does delete the image. Right now it is not deleting. I'm not sure what happened yesterday and today. Okay, technical glitch. I'll take care of that later. But yeah, you can see I have just cropped it 1:1, and my images and Instagram kind of. So I can adjust my text tool again. No, this looks good. You can see, you can create flyer, you can post it on Facebook, Twitter, Insta, and I suggest always use 1:1 format, that you don't have to create multiple documents and post it for your Instagram, or sorry, for other different kind of social media. Just use only one. But if you want to print it, or if you want to send it on your email, so you can use different if you have uh, more information to share, then you can use long format or A4 size or letter size format on your system. on your Photoshop. So let's go back to the previous state. Control Z. I'm doing Control Z. Okay, I'm back now. So let's crop. So generally what I do before I to make it, so what I do, I just create guides. You can see we have done it uh, yesterday also. When your ruler is on, you can just click on the ruler and drag these lines. These are called guides. These help me a lot. And you can see I have crop tool selected and I have guide. So if I go back to my move tool, now I have now I know that this area will not be there. This area will not be there. If I choose 1:1, accordingly I can adjust my text now. So okay, now I have margin. So if I do crop tool, if I perform crop now, yeah, I didn't have to move it. So this is done. Okay. So this was all about creating poster and placing your text on the poster, right size, right time, right way. So we have a lot to cover, and we have also covered right now Facebook, how to create for Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter feed. It is there, and now we have to cover now our retouching, a very interesting part, and I hope you will love that thing. You will like and love both. Okay, so I'll start with retouching a image. So I will not, I cannot tell you the retouching the whole, but I just open it again. File, open my file. So I can tell you the minor tweak that we do with uh, on images, which tool you can use to do all that tweak. So I'm not a professional retoucher. I just use Photoshop to tweak minor details on the image. So you can see this is this is the image, and you can see there are some spots. There is sign of a cut over here, and we want to clear this all area. And how can we do it? Uh, we don't have to do much. Our Photoshop will do that. And how? So see, how can we do that? So first of all, I'll create a duplicate layer so that I will not destroy my original layer. So this is the best thing that you can try to do a retouch. Best advice from me: always create a duplicate layer if you are doing retouching, if you are trying to modify anything on your image. So I have created a duplicate, Control J, and I have the duplicate layer, or to right click duplicate layer on the image. You can create another layer of that. Okay, now to starting to how to get rid of these black spots on this girl's face. So we can do spot healing brush. So how can you find it? Here J is the shortcut for spot healing brush, but you have to hold uh, mouse and see, and these are the tools that we're gonna use. I will use spot healing brush and patch tool, and they will you know uh, fulfill your purpose. Okay, so I'm going to zoom it up, because for retouching you have to zoom up and see the spot clearly, and using my curly brackets again to increase and decrease the size of my brush, healing brush. Okay, and this is the hardness. I want to reduce the hardness of my brush, and I like 80 only, so that I will not see unwanted spot. Just click on the spot. You can see it's gone. Now you can imagine when you go to your photographer, how can he remove the spot when you have a passport size photo. So I just clicking on it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just clicking on those spots. Photoshop is doing it. I'm not doing anything. I just finding it out and picking them. Guys, and one thing I'm increasing, decreasing the brush size because we just want to remove that particular pixel or modify that particular pixel on girl's face, not the other pixel. So we just need to make sure that we are doing it on, we are using on that pixel only, that size only to get rid of those spots. Okay, I think this is pretty much clear. A few spots are here also, so we can get rid of that. Done. You can see now this was before and this is after. So this is how you can just get rid of some unwanted spots. Now this is there, you can see this cut mark is there, so how can we get rid of this also? For that I use patch tool. Click on patch tool and I will, you have to draw a uh, you have to select area, just drawing a line or select area and then use the source and then drag it somewhere else. Control D, gone. Not that perfect, but better. You can always use spot heading brush to remove that thing. Now you can see. Let's see before and after now. Yeah, before and after. You can see that. I think this is really helpful. Spot healing brush and only patch tool that I have used to get rid of the unwanted spot on the skin of this car. And if you want to increase the brightness of sometimes the color is not good, but we can adjust the brightness of brightness level. So we have this adjustments here. So this is bright, so I can just increase the brightness and a little bit the contrast of the girl's face. So you can see that now it is looking a little bit better, much better I would say. So again, this is before and this is after. Before and after. So you can see uh, just little tweaks using the right tool, and using the right tool in the right way, you have your perfect image. Not perfect, but yeah, at least it is better. Okay, I hope you have this understood. So for patch tool, I have one more example that we use. Let me open a file. I have created multiple files, so much sometimes I lost within my system. Now you can see these are birds here, and I want to remove this particular bird. I don't want much bird, so how can I do it? I use patch tool. I will use patch tool for that, definitely. So what I will do, I just move around, create a marker around this bird, move it. Yeah, this is gone. The bird is gone. So let me do it again. Create a copy of layer and then try it again. This time I'll just create a circle accordingly, like this way, and always select source here. So I'll tell you what is source and destination. We'll talk about it, and just move it here or any place you would like to. So you can see the one bird is gone. Okay. Similarly, you can, let me just, similarly you can, I want two more birds here. This area is empty. I want two more birds here. So what I can do, again, select the body, destination, select destination now. See what happens. So this is the difference between select destination and source. So what source does, it will patch to the selection of my source to the destination, and it will patch, if I select source, it will patch the source point of my selection from the destination. Destination means from where I move like this. If I move like this, it will move. That's because it is destination. So if I put the destination, I have another bird because the selection is there. Okay, I can create many birds. uh, I have increased the population of these birds now. So now you can see too many birds are there. You won't be able to identify which one is there, which one not there. So this is what patch tool does. Okay, sometimes people try to create a very funny editing using the patch tool, and uh, the patch tool, but again, it depends on the subject and the background of the subject, how it is, matching with that. Sometimes they try to match, they try to create a third eye of a person, so that won't work. So that's against the nature also. So just try to create what you can create, what looks beautiful and what looks very creative. So that what we do it here. So let me just quickly look what we have done. Yes. So similarly, with the patch tool, we have another tool, we call it clone stamp tool. Okay. So what it does, it just, with the name, as the name suggests, clone, it just creates the cloning of your part. So to get that, you need to select the source first. Like, this is the source I have selected. How can you select source? You need to click on alt. You need to hold the alt. Once you hold the alt, let me zoom it up. Okay, fine. You will see this icon will come up, and you click on it. It will select your source. Now you can see it's showing the preview of your source. And now I'll just draw, and you can see there is another icon with the plus. With the plus, it show that from where it is picking the pixels. And I'm just drawing and just trying to replicate that. And you can see it is, as long as I will not leave my mouse, it will try to draw that thing again and again. You can see this, I have made mess. Now I have left it, now it is not there. So but again, if I start doing it, it is still picking the pixel because I have selected the source. So it just take the reference of one point and then start painting on it. So Again, it depends situation which tool you are going to use. And so most of the time patch tool doesn't work. I'm sorry, sometimes patch tool doesn't work. On those situation we use clone stamp tool, and healing brush is used to remove the not the object, to heal the one particular pixel or part of any image. So they work on technology which is called content aware. Content aware is AI based technology, and it is being used in Photoshop for many years. And this is the one kind of technology that we have. Uh, okay, so this is about the clone stamping tool and patch tool, healing brush. So I guess this is done. Uh, for yes. Okay, so you want to print, if you want to print from Photoshop, you can print it out, and there is nothing uh, difficult. Is that it's just that you have chosen a perfect size of your paper. Paper size is there, the same paper that you have available, instead of using the different paper size and creating a different canvas. So you have to be sure that you have chosen the correct paper size. So how can you print? File, print, and from here, I don't have printer right now, so I'll just pick. So you can see it's showing very, small, because it is small. It is only 4:5, kind of, almost 4 inch into 5 inch, and my paper size would be around 8. Yeah, print setting. From here, you can see the paper size is letter. So if even if I select the A4, it will not fix, because paper size not matching. So what I can do, I can go image size, and then I can go for A4, then hit OK, because my aspect ratio was same, so it will not make any kind of difference. It will just increase my document size. So we did it yesterday also. If we have a uh, so now I have a paper size 11 by 8. You can see here also, and I'll go print. Yeah, it is perfect, coming perfect on my preview. And if I hit print button, it will come up like that. Okay, so this is the one method. And second method is you can create a JPEG out of it, then print it from there. So okay, so that is for printing. And little bit about the color modes. Just to tell you guys, so what is the color mode in Photoshop? So color mode is how Photoshop read colors. So Photoshop work on RGB. RGB is red, green, blue, like we see our world. And so, but when we print, the print it gets printed in CMYK, because printers, they read another language, that is CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, black language. And even if you see that, if you know about the printing, if you have the desktop printer, or if you have ink, I'm sorry, sorry for, so if you have ink tank printers, you will not see uh, red, green, blue ink. You will see four types of ink, especially with the ink tank: black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. So that's what you get when you go for printer refill, or you refill with ink tank printer. So uh, generally we create it in RGB only. And if you want to see how it will look like on print, you can go to view and proof setup, working color here, and then proof colors, view proof colors, and you can see there is not much difference because I don't have uh, other colors like red, green. So if I go on this image, I press Control Y, there would be slight color shift on this image. It's not showing over here, but there should be most of the time it doesn't show because we don't have that much, we don't use those extra colors. But again, so if I create solid red, and then you can see color shift is happening, little bit color shift is happening on this red. This is dark red, and if I press Control Y is to see the proof setup. So you can see a color shift is happening. So most of the time we think like, okay, we have created in the dark color, but we got little bit dark, I like blackish red color. Why? Because it happens because of color shift from one color range to another color range. So RGB is a very big color range, and CMYK is small color range. And because of that, we get little bit of color loss. So that is why we I prefer to see my color difference happening using the by visiting the view proof colors. Always proof, we should always see what is the proof is coming out of my uh, creation. So that's what we can do. Okay, so I think Saurav, I think we have covered our thing for today. So
Awesome, amazing, amazing work, Sandeep. I myself was surprised that Photoshop can actually do a lot of these things that we generally would struggle days and days to get done. For example, removing my pimples off my face. But yeah. uh,
uh,
Great, great. So we do have some questions too. Um,
yes.
so, like for example, somebody wants to know how to create a clickable link in the poster.
Uh, in the poster, clickable link in Photoshop is not possible because Photoshop is just create a JPEG and that will be embedded. But that is possible with the PDF. So, PDF can help you out with clickable links, but Photoshop, I'm sorry, Photoshop cannot do it. So this is a very question. So
Sure. Then we have Mr. Ayush who's asking if you could explain layer masking a bit as well.
layer masking. So I left it because it is a very lengthy topic, and but if you would like to have it right now, I can just give you in 2 minutes of uh, time. I can just tell you how it works, and then again try and use your creativity to find it out. So suppose I have this image and I want to separate layer and want to add it more on that. So what I do, select and subject. First, you need to create selection for masking this thumb rule. So I have my subject selected and I have this icon. You can see that with this circle rectangle icon with a black dot. I just click on that. So in this way, you can create a mask. So mask is nothing. It's just like it just hide the one part of your image. Which is not selected or which is selected. So it depends on what kind of marks you want to make it. So I can inverse it by pressing Control I, and I can make it original. So this is the mask, and masking is a very wide and topic. So uh, most of the times we use masks. So to retouchers they use mask, and digital painting, who create digital painting, they use mask. So generally we don't use mask. We just the only mask that you will be creating that removing the background or changing the background. So we have done it with the selection. So like I have created it, you can do it with uh, just deleting that or creating a layer of that and hiding the other thing. So that is the masking that we can select it. So Okay, so that's it for mask.
Thanks a lot. I know, as in masking is a huge topic in itself,
Yes, it
and
is.
maybe we have put down a few links also for more people to come in and like train further on Photoshop in case they want to learn more about masking, retouching, and other stuff. Uh, we also have another mailer. Sorry, another link which basically TechSoup, our partner organization as far as our software donation program Big Tech is concerned, wherein you'll even get certificate for your training, but the training costs around $10. It's something that these guys, the TechSoup guys, are promoting, and in case you're looking at a certified training module also on Photoshop basics, you can maybe go ahead and look at that too. That is another thing that I'll put down as a link in the chat box. Another question that we have right now is that what is the main difference between Photoshop and some of the other free-to-use tools available like Canva, etc. What are the main advantages of Photoshop over Canva, and why should we go ahead and use Photoshop and not Canva?
So Photoshop gives you the kind of creative freedom that what you want to use, and the quality of image that you want to use. You can save that file on your system, you can move it, you can move it and share it with uh, your publisher, printer. And when you use a file, when generally when we create a holdings or big posters, we create in Photoshop, or and we send it to our printer, guy vendor who prints it up. And the quality, you will see that there will be really good. Plus you have your work saved, you can modify it anytime, and that is on local, not on server or somewhere else that you need internet in that time. But it is saved locally. And the tools, we have tools, plus uh, uh, you know s- uh, s- formats that we save it, file TIFF, JPEG, or GIF sometimes, if it is animated, so it is there. So that's why the Photoshop, that's why it is the industry master, and people use it. Even they use it as a pirated copy, but they use the Photoshop. So
Yes. So there is another question in similar lines. We have another anonymous attendee asking us, what's the difference between InDesign and Photoshop? Because he or she uses InDesign to retouch images mostly.
So InDesign is a software which used to call earlier PageMaker. To InDesign is generally for publishing, create for publishing, like a magazine, or magazine. You want to create big posters or stickers, transparent stickers. So that is for publishing, only for print and publishing. Photoshop is just for, it's not for publishing. It's for creating, graphic design, photo editing, photo retouching, and photo manipulation, and many more stuff you can do within the Photoshop. But for InDesign, which is generally used for, as I told, publishing and printing. And you can create books, you can create magazines and layouts, flyers also you can create within that. But again, the one thing that Photoshop does, that you can retouch your image and then again you can use the same layer, put it into a different document, and you can use that document and save it as a PSD. Or you can add text, you can add graphics in that, in one tool only. But for InDesign, if you want to remove a background, you have to come back to Photoshop and do your retouch and create a graphics, and then save it and give it back to the InDesign. So this is kind of different, little difference that we have it.
Okay. So there are two more questions that I like to question over here, put out over here, Sandeep, for you.
Hmm.
While we have like plenty more, but I know that we have paucity of time and will not be able to take all of them. We though would want to request all of you to actually put those questions over a mail as well, and we'll try and get it answered through Sandeep or through the NASCOM Foundation team itself. So one of the questions is that for color, which format do we have to select? Do we have to select CMYK, or we have to select RGB?
So by default, it selects RGB, and RGB, Photoshop works on RGB. So it's just that uh, it's just that it just when we create a when CMYK is there, to just check the proof, and it can work on CMYK also, but you will not see that much bright colors or good colors, because the limitation of CMYK is very uh, yes, it is very limited in order to, when it comes for our color range and creating graphics in that, or editing images, because all the cameras and even your phone also, they work on RGB, and they click image on RGB, either on sRGB or Adobe RGB. These are two subcategories of RGB. They don't use CMYK. CMYK is only used in printing and publishing world. Okay, because RGB printers are only RGB printers are there, but they are very costly. They are very, very costly, and same IKS printers are not that costly, so we use them. And so that's why it is the only main difference, like out, what you see digitally and what you get it on physically. So it is the only one thing, one difference is there.
Great. So one more question that we'll take up right now is that how do we okay, this is not really a question. I'll like to answer this one. How do we get a recording of the session? This recording is also being broadcasted live on YouTube, so you'll be able to get uh, both yesterday's and today's session directly on the NASCOM Foundation official YouTube channel. For you, Sandeep, the question that we would have is uh, if you can explain a little more about the image resolution.
Okay. So is it about image resolution of particular image, or we are
I think we may actually look at image resolution that is required for a digital image versus an image resolution required for a printable one. I think that's what this question could be.
okay? So as I mentioned earlier, so 300 pixel is we call it for our resolution should be 300 in pixels, and whenever we create a new document like file and new. So here it shows right now inches. So it shows if I put 300 pixels here. So this is our printable document, because
You
more,
mean pixels per inches, right?
yeah,
Not
pixels per
centimeters.
inches. Yes. So
Yeah.
there would be 300 pixel in per inch square. So more pixel in one square, then we have a very good. So again, a pixel for this is for digital. Okay. And when you take this document and send it to your vendor to print it out, there is a difference how much DPI they are using. DPI is dots per inch. So dots per inch for printers, for physical. So this is called PPI, pixel per inch. This is again for digital and digital screen or digital printout. But for for DPI, dots per inch for your printers. So so like we have printers for 600 DPI, 300 DPI, and 1200 DPI. More DPI they use to print, and more colors will come up on the physically on the paper. Okay, so that's how that's how they are totally different. So if sometimes we think more resolution on the image, like PPI, we call it pixels per inch. It will create a very good output on the paper. No, but it is not like that. It is depends on how good your printer is. If it is capable of printing 1200 dpi or 600 dpi. Generally printers are not coming with uh, 1200 dpi, but they use a lot of ink. So people switch it to 600 dpi, so that it 600 dpi is also good, and it gives you very good result on the paper. So that is the difference. So but again, increasing this pixels in 1 square inch of your screen will give you very good digital quality of your image, bright colors, sharpness, and clarity. It will be there. So uh, and if you want to post it on social media, so they decrease this resolution to 150 or 72. So it's then again it doesn't matter, because they all the images that goes on web, they are 72 ppi, because that decreases the size of your image a lot. And Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, they use their own encoding methods to decrease the size, to compress the image, so that that can be transmitted to across the networks, across globally faster, and there they can send the data faster. So that's why they encode your files accordingly.
So
So
I'm so
that's
sorry. I think it's again a resolution question, and therefore we are. I'm also asking this one.
uh-huh.
Uh, can we change the resolution of any particular photograph? It's
Yes,
the
we
other
can
question.
change. We can change the resolution of any particular photograph, but there is a catch. The catch that I have mentioned yesterday also. Let me open a image and then I'll tell you what happens if we destroy that. So there are some rules. So we have to. Okay, let's do this here. We have to follow those rules. So right now, image and image size. Okay, let me just decrease the preview of this image. So you can see in inches the image size is 12 by 18 by default. So if I change it to like 6, I want 6 width and height. So now you can see that this is linked. This means it will not destroy my aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is the ratio in which ratio the current image is. Okay, so if I unlink width and height, and now I have free hand on width and height. So some like 4 by 6 is a common size. Now you can see in the preview itself what exactly happening. It is distort the image. So if I click on it and then do 6 by 9, it is fine. So that's a very basic rule that we have to follow, that is, do not destroy the aspect ratio. So this is what we do here. So and anyway I can increase, it was 12 and I can increase it 24 and then hit OK. It will be, but again it depends on what type of machine you are using. So if I do if I've done it 24 inches, now you can see spinning wheel is there, and it is increasing. It will take time to build a thing, and that's why I say earlier also that do not try to create a very big kind of poster uh, while you are creating it. You can increase the size later on. After once you are done with your creation, then you can increase the size of your image, unless your system will be too big. So you can see that now it is 24 inches here, and 26 by 36.
Great. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sandeep. I think that has been amazing training for all of us. I would now like to share my screen back
Yeah.
and very, very quickly take us all through just 1 minute. I will, yeah. So this is the price point that we are looking at. Uh, for Adobe Photoshop and Premiere Elements version, which is like a stripped down or a light version of Photoshop and Premiere. This is a lifetime software for 2020, the version 2020. You just need to go ahead and sign up on bigtech.nascomfoundation.org and go ahead and spend 2,148 rupees, and this will be available for you for your entire lifetime. In case you want to have the larger Creative Cloud all apps version, then 19,195 more or less is going to be the price, which is at a 60% discount. This is a converted uh, uh, rupee value of the dollar value. So this ideally is given out in dollars. So this is a converted value of 19,195 rupees, and around 400 rupees as admin fees is what we are looking at in case you want to go ahead and buy a Creative Cloud license for 1 year. So this is a 1 year cost and not a lifetime cost. But with this particular thing, you'll get a lot of other Adobe products, like for example the Acrobat, the After Effects, and so on and so forth. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I've also listed down on the chat that okay, these are the various different Photoshop learning courses available with Adobe as well as with TechSoup. So you can look at any of the courses. With TechSoup, you obviously also get a certificate once you complete the course. With Adobe, you can actually go and look at any of these courses. The links are already there in the chat box for you to go and have a have a go at really. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot again for all of you for joining us over here. And again, very, very special thanks to Sandeep for being able to take out time to not just give us these 3 hours, but I know for a fact that Sandeep has spent a lot of time to further figure out the course curriculum, to create the examples that he's been able to showcase right now, and then to actually go ahead and put it out over here. It has been exceptional uh, sharing this space with you, Sandeep, and really, really thank you for this. Thanks a lot again for all of you to join in. And hopefully, we'll come back again very, very soon with another round of trainings, most probably on Adobe Premiere very soon from the Adobe point of view. And do remember that we are also about to launch Wix. So we should be coming out with a Wix training as well as to how you can create your own website without writing a single line of code. Thanks again for everyone to join in and hope to see you soon again. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you guys, and
Thanks.
thanks. Yeah,
Stay safe. Stay well.
yeah,
Take care.
stay safe.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.